Mic check 1, 2.
Hello, hello.
Mother's Day. Hey guys, it's Dee.
Hey, and this is Chelsea.
And this is Postpartum Uncut. This is our safe space to talk about all the things that happen after we bring the baby home.
Season 2.
Season 2. We did it.
High five.
Thank you everyone for taking this journey with us so far. We appreciate everyone who has commented, liked, subscribed, hollered at us on social media, messaged us. We got a lot of great feedback from all kinds of different moms, OG moms, new moms, moms of the old kids, moms of really young kids. And it's been really, really fun talking to you guys about what you resonate with on this podcast. It's been really cool.
I agree.
And we're celebrating Mother's Day.
Yes.
As our first episode.
Our second Mother's Day.
It's our second Mother's Day.
That's wild.
We were moms for 10 seconds when we had our first Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So this one feels like just a little bit more like OG status.
Like for real. Now we can really celebrate Mother's Day.
Yeah, like I'm a real mom now.
It's been a whole year.
I feel like we know a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like last Mother's Day, I was just kind of like, I just got here. Give me my mom necklace. Give me my mom bracelet. Give me my mom stuff.
Yeah, I was so excited. I had like my first Mother's Day t-shirt.
That is a cute feeling.
I was like, I can't read anymore.
I was talking to somebody about this, and they were like, I used to think mom shirts were so corny.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got here, and I was like, me too, girl. Because like now you just want everything to represent
what I went through to get here.
For real. No, for real.
Yeah.
And then like everybody, we are like coincidentally, we're creeping up. Baby girl, we celebrate her early because she's VIP. But in real life, this is when both of them should be reaching that time of they were supposed to be born around this time. So like,
what was your due date?
420. Well, due date was 429.
Okay.
So he was only a week early.
Okay, mine was 4/14.
See, so this is like it's one of those moments that I really like where we get to reflect on where was I the year before than where I am now. That's always a cool thought. So like if you take yourself back to April.
What year are we talking about
of
now?
Last year.
Okay, 2024.
Yeah, take yourself back to April.
Okay.
So technically you were like 2.5-ish months.
So yeah, I just brought baby girl home from the hospital end of March. So April was like my first full month with her at home.
Oh yeah, so, you did just bring her home.
I did. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting. It was nice to actually feel like I'm a full mom now, not visiting my baby at the hospital. She was like right across the hall. So.
Yes, for context, if you don't know, Chelsea was a NICU mom for a while.
2 months.
Right. 2 months early with baby girl, and she was thugging it out in the hospital and came home like a champ. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's how we come home.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Especially on Mother's Day. Mother's Day. Okay? Because that's what it is. That's the vibe it's giving me. Because I just felt like April was a lot. You know how uptight I was about my baby shower.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really happy that it went well. I was actually very surprised at how well it went and like how much love I felt that day. That was really good. So I was like settling down. And I was like, cool. No more socializing. Mm-hmm. And I was just so big and so heavy. And I was just like, okay, are we done now? Because I'm done. I was done once 37 weeks hit. I was like, okay, no, I'm officially over pregnancy, which considering is pretty patient. But yeah, I just remember the last day of work being Thursday. I went in for an appointment on Friday.
I think I worked Thursday night into Friday.
Did we talk about this?
I don't think we did. No, because it's weird. I worked Thursday night into Friday, got off Friday, went for my ultrasound, never left the hospital.
She worked at my hospital when I was having my baby on, didn't even know it.
So your last shift was a Thursday, so was mine.
We're so cute. How we do that. I definitely had my last shift, my last massage. Shout out to Vernice. massaged my
I could
baby
vouch for
out.
her too. I had a massage for her. It's really actually I only had one because she's so hard to get into because everybody want to go to her.
Let's talk about the OG Triple OG real quick.
Yeah,
She
so
wasn't ready for this
she does her
cameo.
thing.
She wasn't
does
ready
her
for this
thing.
cameo. She is also a mom, so shout out to her on Mother's Day.
She's probably sitting over there like this.
Yeah, I can't wait to like share this, and she'd be like, "D." She actually does watch the channel.
Oh, nice.
So she sent me something. Oh, help me! One of the football players, Deion Sanders, his daughter just had a baby,
Nice.
and she was recording her postpartum experience, taking the baby to her daddy's games and stuff, like because he's coaching or whatever. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Look, she's talking about postpartum too," and I was like, "Shout out to you, because that means you be watching stuff." Yes. She's like the auntie that literally supports you on everything. You don't necessarily get to talk to her every day, but that's the other thing that's beautiful about her as a healer is she's just a really cool spirit in general. So shout out to Vernice Bailey, owner of Corner Spa 7, local Black-owned business off of Delmar.
Make sure you say the city.
In St. Louis.
Yeah, we're in St. Louis for those of you who may not
local
know.
to St. Louisians. She is located off of Delmar next to Jilly's Cupcakes. She's an amazing therapist, prenatal, deep tissue, sports massage, anything you need, she can give it to you. Relaxation. I totally vouch for everyone at Corner Spa. They have multiple spa services. I totally think anybody would enjoy themselves there. I vouch for that. If you want a special first time guest code, holler at me. Okay. But shout out to Bernice for that. But she massaged me last. And then I went in for my appointment on Friday and I never left. And then he came out at 4:14 in the morning. I think I was in labor since 6 p.m. And all I remember was the best part was...
I'm sorry, that's cute too. He came out at 4:14 and I was due.
Oh my God!
4:14.
That's so wild. Crazy.
That's wild.
That is crazy. That's a sign from Jesus.
That's interesting.
I see what you did there. I see what you did. He kept it for me.
Full circle.
He did.
And I was in the hospital.
Yeah, that part is wild.
On shift.
And I just told myself not to bother nobody else. I just told myself for no reason. But the worst part about that entire situation was absolutely the epidural. Like I'm at the point where I'm debating if that's gonna be a thing next time. But best part was my water breaking. I remember how that felt, and it was just like I literally, and after that I was Gucci. I was like, okay, let's have the baby now, and it was cool. And then so April was really just my world going from this to this overnight, like, and then we brought home a human.
Yeah, I think April for me was more so completing my world. I got to, like I said, it was like I got to put all of the pieces in the puzzle together. It was like this piece of the puzzle was over here, this piece of the puzzle was right here, this was over here. So it was like completion. Can
we talk a little bit about this moment for you? Because I don't think people realize what that's like. And I just remember how I was thinking about you. Like when I had texted you and I was like, oh my gosh, first of all, hello, superhero. But like what you must be dealing with because for y'all that don't know, Chelsea found out she was pregnant for 10 seconds, had the baby, and then brought the baby home. Like that's how I told the story is how it happened. So like in the time of finding out you were pregnant, finding out, like, okay, I need to get ready. And then you get ready and then you find out she's coming. What's that like when you find out the baby's coming early? Then what is it like once she's here that she's in the hospital for so long? And then what is that like when she's finally home?
So finding out like that I had to deliver was just like a shock because I was 6.5 months. I'm like, what about my baby? But I had just had an ultrasound literally the day before. I had the 3D one. So I actually got to see her like closest way you can see her without actually seeing her.
The 3D ones are cute, by the way.
So I knew all that. They said everything was great, but it was just like the shock of Dad was halfway across the country because he had just moved, and I'm like, he's not gonna get here in time. If you're talking about delivering within the hour, like what do you mean?
Right.
So it was just that shock, and then the shock of actually having to get put under for my C-section. So like I wasn't even awake to hear her cry, see her for the first time, like none of that. And then I was just like, on all these medications after. Like I had like a PCA pump just to deal with like the pain and all of that. So I actually didn't even hold my baby until day 3 because I was just trying to wean off all the anesthesia, the medications, like all of that. It was just a lot going on. So then fast forward, the whole NICU stay, 2 months later, I finally get to bring her home. But I really feel like it was the buffer that we needed because she came so fast. We weren't ready.
You feel like it kind of gave you a little slowdown to like, okay, well, I can at least get my ducks in a row.
Yes, because the ducks weren't completely in a row because I had 2.5 more months to still get my life together.
Yeah, we talked about this. Like, I got the whole time to get big and like, okay, I want it this way and like almost doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, you're like, I'm just trying to figure out something.
Yeah.
You know?
But
that's a lot.
Did you feel prepared since you had the whole time? Did you feel like you were prepared, or you still feel like you ran out of time?
No, I felt very prepared. Where I didn't, what bothered me was not feeling prepared for the other stuff like breastfeeding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was one of my struggles.
Yeah,
it was very intense, and it's just a lot. And that's my body is not my body still. Huh. So
will
like,
it ever be though?
I know, right? Like, but as a new mom, you're kind of like, damn, I don't get my body back yet. So it's not over. It's not over when they come out. Like, so technically, like first year of momdom is like a 2-year process in my head because you got a whole 10 months to be preggers, and then the whole first year of the human learning how to human. That's a lot in general. But like physically, I felt very prepared, and I was like, if I'm not prepared, I'm gonna be like, because you know we talked about like the hype when people find out you're pregnant. It's like there's a lot of hype around the pregnancy, so people are all gung ho for I'm auntie of the year, and I'm gonna hook you up, and oh, we got hooked up. That is not a complaint, but like sometimes I think people focus a lot on like, well, I gave a gift, whereas like, you know, like when I talked about support can look different for people when they have financial changes, when they have like big changes in life. Sometimes it was just the people that showed up that day to listen to me because that's all I really needed. So when I didn't feel prepared, I was happy to have people like that. But I could not imagine like that process. You know, I'm emotional, Chelsea. So I'm just like, I was just curious to like what you were going through, like emotionally, mentally. That's like a tornado, and I probably would have just been sitting there like.
I did cry a couple times because initially, when I first got there, they told me, since your blood pressures are still not where we want them to be, we have to keep you for 5 weeks. And I was like, I had just planned my baby shower. I had just literally talked to the photographer for my maternity shoot. I was like, what about my job? Like, literally, you want me to be here for 5 weeks? How does that even
Chelsea's
work?
really good at planning, y'all. Like, and that's why I love her as a friend because I don't have a lot of planning friends, right? But like, I could imagine, like, trying to get life together the best way that you can, finding this out last minute, and then another thing. It's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just little stuff that was bothering me. Like I had Invisalign and I had my retainer check. I had to cancel that. It was just little stuff popping up. I was
not the appointment.
And then like I had my furniture being delivered, like the crib at the call in, like, hey, you can't deliver the crib right now. I'm actually having the baby. Like it was just so much like little stuff that kept popping up. And
you know, that's the one part that I did feel empathetic to without even like having to even imagine it, because like your baby shower. You show up to Chelsea's baby shower and she is not pregnant AF.
Yeah, people like, is this a scam? Like, did you? I'm like, so now I gotta explain the story to people that did not know.
And I'm like, oh, she probably explaining this story because you watching her. I'm watching my friend walk around the room.
And it was a lot of people. It was about 150 people at this baby shower.
There was a lot of people, and she was very cute hostess. Stopped and talked to everybody and all that. Like, but the whole time I was thinking, oh my God, she has to explain this to everybody.
Luckily, a good amount of like most of the family knew. Like it spread through the family. It's just I didn't really tell any of my friends that this happened to me, and he didn't really tell any of his friends that it happened to him. So the friends are kind of like, is she pregnant, bro? Like,
well, I knew I was gonna get my explanation, but like that was my bigger thing at the baby shower. Was just like I cannot imagine having to explain myself to a bunch of people. I hate explaining myself in general. Yeah. So that's where I definitely felt you too. Was like the stuff that I knew I wouldn't be able to handle. Like it's a tough cookie.
Oh, thank you.
Tough cookie. Okay, so motherhood for 1 year. We have talked about like the basics. We've talked about like pumping. We talked about breastfeeding. We talked about like gadget city. And don't worry, we're in our toddler gadget era. Don't think I'm letting us get away without talking about that toddler gadget era. That's another episode. Today we want to focus on what this year has been like, what it looked like, are we proud of it, some things we struggled with, and all that good stuff.
Okay, guys. So going through our motherhood journey, we wanted to hit on a couple of topics that just kind of will bring everything full circle with how we really feel, how motherhood really treated us, and kind of what we went through. One thing we want to talk about is the challenges that we faced. So I want to ask you, what would you say is your top 2 challenges that you dealt with unexpectedly with motherhood?
Okay, let's talk about how, as a Sagittarius, I want to do what I want, when I want to, how I want to do it. Mm-hmm. And that is not a thing. That is just not. Yeah. Now, granted, I can finesse it, but in real life, it's just changing what I want, right, to match the baby's vibe. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, like not expecting everything to be what I picture it to look like at first. Like learning to ride the wave of motherhood, because stuff can still get done. I told you this. You inspired that.
Oh my goodness! Thank you.
I told her this because, like, there was that episode you were like, "Oh, it's getting done. I'm just gonna figure out how to fit her into my schedule." And I said, I need to adopt a Chelsea attitude about it, because I just get so frustrated sometimes that the getting out the door. I know you know that part.
Yeah, I've cried a few times.
Getting out of the door is so hard. And then, like, when I get hot, I get irritated. So, like.
And don't let's have to pee, too.
No, see, and I take care of that. but yes.
Let's pee first.
But, like, when I'm rushed, it was, and matter of fact, we talked about the identity crisis thing, too, mm-hmm. like getting dressed. I had this exact moment on Sunday mm-hmm. when we were going to the church. And we was at a sister church for this one. And I was just having a breakdown because Dad will put on any shirt, any pair of jeans, any pair of sneakers, and still be fine as hell. And I'm sitting here like, mm-hmm. we got to go to church. First of all, remember who Delicious was. She all up in my closet. I'm trying to wean her out and make more church appropriate wear. But also, it was hot. Mm-hmm. So, like, because Missouri was wanting to be 76
lay-by weather.
Yeah, so I'm sweating everything off. So I'm like, I don't want to wear pants. I want to wear a dress, but I don't want to wear this dress because it's see-through. And there's so many layers to all the things. And so that was stressful.
Yeah.
That was very stressful. I really feel like that's my top challenge, is accepting that I have to do it on our time. And just accept that it's going to get done maybe differently than I expected it to.
But I think, though, your journaling / like planner mm-hmm. is like a good thing, because even if you don't get it done the day you want to get it done, mm-hmm. it still is a mental reminder that, hey, this needs to get done, and you'll find another way to do it.
I will say I do like a big 3. Like, I know for a fact I have to get postpartum filled today, right? Mm-hmm. I know for a fact that I had to do my therapy appointment today. Mm. And I knew for a fact I wanted to get a walk-in because it's 60 today. Mm-hmm. So those are my big 3. And I feel good if I get those 3.
It doesn't feel good when you can check something off, like, or scratch through something.
I love a checklist. That's one of the things about having a paper planner. It's just like that physical getting that out. Mm-hmm. So what was the hardest thing for Chelsea? Because Chelsea has different obstacles than D. So what did Chelsea struggle with this year?
I think I struggled with becoming a single mom the most this year, mm-hmm. because I didn't anticipate Dad being across the country. Like, well, I knew he was moving, but then I found out I was pregnant.
Right. You didn't get to make those coincide at all.
It wasn't supposed to happen like that. Mm-hmm. So it's like he moved. I'm like, okay, we're talking about how to do a long distance relationship. And I'm like,
well, by the way, we're going to add someone.
So there's a baby now. Like, so it was wild. But then he did come back. He was fortunately able to stay for like 4 months. So we were like playing house for like 4 months. But it's like when he went back, I'm like, wow, I really am a single mom. Like, this is all falling on me physically to do. And so I already had, like she said, I already had it in my head. I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it. I just gotta strap her on my back, do something.
Yeah,
but that was really
pack up the doona and call it a day.
Yes, this is my new purse now.
It really is.
I haven't carried a big purse since I had her.
That was our other thing. We had to let go of accessories like that. You see, I ain't wear no hoop earrings in a minute either, right?
But yeah, I think that was the biggest struggle because it was just like, okay, now we've really honed in on the village. Every episode, the village is brought up somehow
because it is so real.
Yes, but it's like I've always been fortunate to have a village, but it's like I never really had to rely on my village because I was always able to do what I needed to do, like take care of it by myself. But now it's like a full circle moment because I have to lean on my village because I need help. I can't do it all.
I do have to take a moment to sidebar to let everybody know if it's one thing that you learn from each of us in our struggles is how quickly things can change. Mm-hmm. And in one moment you think it's going to be like this and it's completely different. Mm-hmm. And you have to be able to pivot and just focus on the task at hand is making sure baby girl is good.
Yep.
And one of the things that you are fortunate to say is your friends have seen dad around. Mm-hmm. You know, he is present. Mm-hmm. And even though it's not every day, like I don't even see you every day. Yep. He's present. Mm-hmm. And I know that baby girl is good. Mm-hmm. So like, that's the cool thing. It was kind of like that same moment where I told you we go to the doctor's office and they're like, where's your other half? And I'm like,
he can't make it today.
I go places without him too.
Like,
but it was cute because I was like,
we're not bickering. He's
right,
still at home.
Right. I'm like, well,
at work.
At least I can say that I got the guy that comes to all the appointments. I'm like, let me be quiet because, like, at least y'all. And then, like, I don't care if y'all like him or not, but at least y'all know. Mm-hmm. Like, so one thing to note is that things can change and be different in any way. And then the other thing is, what did I say in the last episode? One of them episodes is lean into the change. I said that in that episode, and I could have leaned in a lot more. Mm-hmm. Now that I'm like, when I looked back on that episode, I was like, I wasn't even leaning in like I thought I was leaning in. You can definitely just like ride the wave. Mm-hmm. Just ride the wave. Okay. Okay, so now I want to talk about one lesson that we each have learned, like a big one, a juicy one that we've learned, because the whole point of this channel is to not only like share our experience, but to also educate and provide people with different perspectives. So hopefully we help somebody on their journey at any point along the way. Mm-hmm. So Chelsea, tell me what your biggest, like one of your big lessons is for that you learned from being a mom.
I think this is like a lesson I already knew, but once again, you don't really value a lesson or pay too much attention to it until you actually are like on the receiving end of it. Like, okay, this is why people tell me this, but always be prepared. Like a side note into that, I've always been good with saving. Like I may splurge and do what I want to do here and there, but my bank account always looked correct. Like I was prepared for a rainy day.
Okay.
And having a baby, or knowing about her and then having her within a couple months, I was not ready for that financial mm-hmm. thing to like slap me in the face like that.
And especially how that happened. Mm-hmm. It was like rapid fire.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could totally think that would be a thing.
Yeah, like having to rush and literally get a nursery together in like a month, and then like NICU bills for 2 months, my hospital bills, and then my maternity leave being extended. It was just like, I'm not really getting paid and everything is steady rolling through the door, reoccurring bills and all of this. I was like, okay, well, I'm glad I have a savings because
I got some cushion.
I would be out if I didn't. Like, goodness. And then also too, always being prepared, like my health. Like I really took my health seriously. Like I've been training like in the gym for 10 plus years, meal prepping, eating healthy, and I really feel like being healthy-ish allowed me to bounce
you hear
back.
Her? She said healthy-ish.
You know, because I can make some modifications too.
Yeah,
but
it ain't got to be like a hard thing.
Yeah, I just really feel like that allowed me to bounce back my recovery a lot quicker than if I had made poor life decisions with my health. So I can go on about all these bullet points, but I think just a general principle is just be prepared for the unexpected, because it's like you never know what life has for you. So just kind of stay on track with planning
That's like when we were
accordingly.
talking that day, and I was like, it's almost like believe in your happy ending too,
Mm-hmm.
because when we're stuck in a place of healing, or like we're not ready to heal yet, or we're dealing with trauma,
Mm-hmm.
we can do high risk activity and have high risk behavior that it sets us back. Or if we are at a place where we finally heal and we decide that we want things like a family or a husband, like you don't want to set yourself back by putting yourself in situations that don't support the future you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I like would put that under that list too, is think about like what your future could hold, and think like, am I putting myself in a position to be okay no matter what happens to me?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like sometimes we get in those like funks and those moods, and we drink too much, or we smoke, or we go hang out, we party, we do, things that
Yeah.
don't necessarily support, because you never know what can
Or
happen in
just
those
or
moments.
just like a really like down to earth example, but like you just say you're just really like reckless on social media, but then you want to be a
Hmm.
politician one day. People gonna see that,
That's a
like,
really good example.
so it's almost kind of like just be as clean as you can. You never know what direction life is gonna take you in. So it's like always just be prepared for whatever to happen,
Right.
because you just never know.
Yeah, for sure. I love that one. That's a good lesson. I think for me, it was definitely protect my energy. Um, Motherhood is such a misunderstood and thankless time. So, like, you have to have thick skin in that sense, just because, like, the world ain't gonna see you, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with not being seen at this point. Like, that's fine. Um, because I know that at the end of the day, I'm at least appreciated.
Do you feel unseen by the world?
There are times. There are times. I was saying this. I feel most seen by moms,
Okay.
by other moms. It's like I don't know what's going on with like our generation. I was talking about this with Tink in the last episode that we did on my podcast. Was like when we see other moms struggling in public, we're just like inclined to go help,
Mm-hmm.
and then like vice versa. I drop something, it don't matter what size, shape, color, culture, doesn't matter. If they birthed a human, they're always like, let me get that for you, I got it, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Or here, no, let me get the door because you have a stroller. Whereas like we've talked about my grocery store situation, like, yeah, there's a lot of times where I feel like people are just like, oh, it's just a mom. Oh, okay, I brought life into the world, but okay. Like, and then like that moment where like we're having with our moms, where it's like, dang, I see where you probably struggled a little bit. I definitely feel you there. Like we're all having that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I also just needed to know where to feel safe, because I realized during pregnancy that I was in environments that don't truly make me feel safe, and I was around people that either did not put me in situations that I felt safe in, or just
Do you mean
like
like emotionally safe?
yes, I should be clear about that. Emotionally safe. Physically my safety was never, I mean, we did have that car accident situation, but it was a very minor situation. Like physically I feel like I was safe. But being pregnant is such a vulnerable thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like we talked about with my pregnancy versus yours, was like it was a blessing and a curse to grow the baby and be seen like that, because like cool, that's fun right here, but when I step out in public, everybody's got something verbal to contribute about my pregnancy. It has nothing to do with them besides the fact that they can see it. So like there were moments where I had to like I wanted to like like pounce on people, like, what are you doing? Leave me alone, I'm pregnant, I don't want to talk about that. The things that some people say to you when you're pregnant just feel very like inappropriate sometimes. Like one person will say like a client said, you're so brave to bring a kid into this crazy world, and I'm like, lady, don't you think I thought about this already? Like intrusive thoughts live in my head anyway, like don't add to them. And then like a family member mentioned like, well, I'm just asking because my baby had a defect, and I'm like, can you not say things to me like that when I'm pregnant and growing my human? I'm doing a great job, I know I'm doing a good job, it'd be nice if you could tell me that. So like there were just situations that I don't feel like I will be in my next pregnancy either, because I've done that work. But I think the more important thing to take from that is be aware of your self-care and how you take care of yourself. Like, yes, go to the gym. I wish I would have. I plan on doing some prenatal conditioning. I'm not kidding. Because how I felt when I came out, I was like, this ain't how my body feel. And we talked about recovery. Like I fully believe in that. I believe in bubble baths. Like I sat, not even like a bubble bath, but a hot bath. I was a bath pregnant girly. So like those are things that help me protect my peace. I cut my hours. Like I just had to find things that worked for me because me and my energy mattered the most because I'm doing this. And then when you get out of the hospital, the boundaries that you set with people, like, hey guys, I feel anxious. I don't know how to explain this to you, but I don't want a lot of people at the house. Hey guys, I'm having this weird, because like trying to explain the mental things you go through too, you have to be in safe spaces to do this stuff. Right. Otherwise, you're just explaining yourself to people who will not understand, and then you're stressing yourself out. It's like a whole thing. So for me, it's the village, figuring out who that village is while I'm pregnant, so that by the time we get almost done being pregnant, I feel good about who I'm surrounded by. I know for a fact they've got my back. They showed up to help me prepare the house. I know I can call this person for the ride to the hospital. Like, it's really good to like understand who's actually in your corner and who is your safe space is the gist of what I'm saying. Safe spaces. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about today, guys, is the thing that we're the most proud of, because we are somebody's fine ass mama.
I mean, since you said it, thank you. Thank you.
And like, hello, loud and proud about it. I'm very proud. I'm proud to be a mom. I'm proud of how this year looked. I'm proud. Like, stuff was hard. Stuff was hard. But like how we've come out of this and like who we turned into, because there's a few of us that were on this journey with us. Like, I see y'all. I be seeing it. Like, I'm proud that we survived. I'm proud. What are you proud of?
I think I'm most proud of how I was able to integrate myself into motherhood. Like, motherhood really gave me the oomph I needed to be like, you know what, you can do more. There's more potential out there for you, sis. And I didn't let like another thing being added to what I needed to do for my daily regimen be like, well, that just took that spot. So I was like, you know what? I deserve more. Baby girl deserves more. So I'm going to get out here and get it. So there's so many. I think 2024 probably was the most accomplishing year to this day that I think I've had.
I love that for you.
I literally just so many things I checked off my list. Check, 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 check. And I was like, oh wow, I did all that with a kid. That's awesome.
All that with a kid, okay?
And she was in everything with me pretty much. So I was like, that was dope. Like on a side note, like a personal compliment that I've actually gotten by a few different people was they didn't think that baby girl was my first child. They were like,
I love that compliment. Yeah. Like, you couldn't tell I was a new mom.
They literally was like, you just look so natural. Like, it just flows. Like, you just have everything you need and you just know how to work everything. And I was like, thank you. Because yes, this is my first child. So like, and I literally gotten that from like different people. So that, I don't even know what to say. Like, that was just like one of the most.
No, that's a top tier compliment.
Yes.
That's top tier.
I was like, wow, thank you. So,
I love when people like my gadgets because they're like, no, this is like a bingo sheet. Ready? It's the what they didn't have that when. Where was that?
How do you work that? What is the purpose?
Yeah. Why didn't we have that? And I'm like, like I literally can say that every time I pull out a gadget, that's like the vibe it is. And I'm like, they're on Amazon. I need to get that for my grandbaby. I need to get that for my. Yes, you do.
That even have kids that's like 5 or 6. They have been like, so wait, what is that? I didn't have one of those.
I told you 5. I told you it's like every 5 years. I feel like the baby industry just like has like a whole new wave of stuff.
As it should be.
So wait, real quick, last minute question. What's your top baby gadget to this day, 1 year of motherhood?
Just one?
Just the top,
Oh
like
my
you know what? The one gadget I know I would not have done this without is.
I guess I probably would have to pick. Oh, that's so hard. Okay, I guess I'm gonna pick the no, oh, the Duna.
I knew it. I knew it.
I'm gonna have to pick the Duna because
I knew it.
Like you heard me talk about it on other episodes. Having the combo of the car seat stroller, like
every time I take my car seat out now,
beautiful.
I think about her talking about, I'm not trying to take out this and do this. I'm like, while I'm doing that, I think about you in the Duna all the time.
I mean, it's just you know, like the only if you have just a regular car seat, the only thing is like, yeah, it's a little heavier than like the average car seat because it has like little wheels on it.
I feel like once they get 20 pounds, it's heavy in general, though.
I mean, yeah, but like I'm just saying, it's a little heavier than a regular car seat because of that. But once you get used to the bow, click clack, and you just ready to go, I don't even think you think about it anymore.
What's your shirt say? Diapers and dumbbells. What's it say? Daughters and dumbbells. That's why she be working out, y'all, so she could carry her.
I was looking at this shirt. I was like, they don't know. That's not that shirt.
No, not that one.
But yeah, I was like, I'm glad I work out. Shoot.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Trying to get all this out, and
I knew it was the whole time I'm sitting here. I'm like, she's sitting there doing all that.
Okay, well I know what you're gonna say too.
Y'all know what mine is.
It starts with its initials is BB.
Brezza.
Baby Brezza.
What day?
Baby Brezza.
Yeah, y'all can't tell me nothing. It's the Brezza. When I say the hangry middle of the night, whoo-wee. Yeah, I would not have made it. I would not have made it. You see how I just laughed? Oh my God. I wouldn't have made it. Man, that baby would have been fighting. Squared up. Because the way he wakes up, when he's hungry, is in my ear. And it's like, if you know me and you know Dad, you know about volume and projection. Yeah, he got me messed up. Brezza saves relationships, okay? Anywho, thank you guys for joining us today for our first episode back.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
We love y'all.
You, and we're so proud of y'all.
Yes.
Keep
OGs, up the good work.
New mamas.
Keep the questions coming.
Oh my God, yes, please. We have to ask a question. You come up with a question. What are we dropping in the comments today, Chels?
I'd like to hear what you guys think is your biggest accomplishment in your first year of motherhood. Yes. Or if you're pregnant, what do you hope to accomplish in your first year of motherhood? I
love that question. So OGs, y'all tap in too, because I know my mama-in-law is on here watching. Mama, try to think back to the first year, your first with baby boy. What are you most proud of from that? Because you did that. You did your big one with that.
We want to see these questions in the comments roll in.
All right, guys. We will see y'all next week. Tune in. Bye. Postpartum Uncut. Whoop, 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 whoop.